Look at that. And the big news out there is that it's been dry all week. We had some rain right at the start of it, but otherwise the track has baked itself dry all week long. That rarest of rare occurrences in mountain biking. A dry Mont-Sainte-Anne. 12 degrees Celsius out there, pretty chilly. There's a bit of wind knocking about, but more than anything else perhaps, we have a dry race course to enjoy here in Mont-Sainte-Anne. Here's your schedule. 5:30 Central European time. The junior women get us underway from 7 o'clock Central European elite women. And then from 8:10, the title showdown. Bruni versus Goldstone. Let's jump on board though with Max Allren and enjoy this classic downhill test here in Mont-Sainte-Anne. Max Allren making it look easy. I can guarantee you it's not here in Mont-Sainte-Anne, nor has it ever been. Here's your start list for the junior women's race. My name's Rick McLaughlin. I'll be taking you through this afternoon's race, and alongside, I'm happy to say, Nico Mullally. Nico, a dry Mont-Sainte-Anne. Whatever next.
It's dry. It's later than we've ever raced in the season. There's some new challenges with that. It's been chillier this week. Can affect the bike setup, the way the bikes are working, and we've had some freeze overnight as well, which is interesting because you have dry, dusty sections and then some sections that are mud from freezing overnight. So mixed conditions and new challenges for the riders.
It was never going to be easy, was it? It's never straightforward here in Mont-Sainte-Anne. As we head this up for Isla O'Connor then. Nico, this top bit has been groomed slightly, hasn't it? But still full chat.
It is. It's been groomed this year more than ever. I think the track started off pretty smooth, but once you get all these bikes on it going this pace, this turn she's in now has got 3 lines with 3 different ruts and braking holes into it. So at race pace, it's rough as ever.
Yeah, and it's a difficult place to replicate race pace, isn't it? I mean, they all are, but Sainte-Anne, it's so long and it's so rough on the arms and hands that it's quite a difficult place to work out what a complete top-to-bottom full chat run is going to feel like before the clocks start properly.
For sure, and it's higher average speed than we're used to seeing. It covers a lot of distance in a pretty short time. This has been a 5-minute track in years past, and we're covering the same ground in 3.5 minutes now. So average speeds are just up more than ever.
Look at that though, dirt looking absolutely pristine in the trees here. Rocks are looking pretty clean as well. Often in Sainte-Anne we see mud, you know, wet, really, really slippery mud dragged out over the rocks amongst the trees, but it's looking fast out there.
I think we'll see a really exciting race today with these conditions. It's so consistent that the riders are going to be able to push the limits. It's not quite as technical, not as much to separate riders this year with these conditions, so it's going to be tight times.
Oh, O'Connor down in the crash net and just got pushed over to the right-hand side of the track. And one of the dangerous parts of that section, Nico, you're off the brakes for quite a long time after that rock gap, and looks like she's sort of tangled up in the netting now.
It's actually quite a narrow section where the racing line is, and she just hit this compression and got kind of stood up and off balance off the low side of the track there.
Oh, and you can see nowhere to go but out the front door for Isla O'Connor.
Once your brake levers are tangled in that netting, the run's over. It takes a lot of time to get it out. They're there for a reason. They save the riders from crashing further down the hill. But, yeah, they can tangle your bike up quite easily.
They do their job quite well, don't they? They look pretty sort of flimsy whenever you walk the track, but they do manage to stop bikes extremely well. Bit of wind knocking around all week long, especially in this open section as well, as we see Zana Lugar about to drop in.
Yeah, today more consistent than any other day this week. It's been really windy through the first 2 days on track, and today it looks pretty primo.
Yeah, tell us about the effect that wind can have for a downhill racer. It can be an absolute nightmare, can't it?
Well, it's just inconsistent, and you can't quantify it, really. It can be different for every rider. It could be a gust of wind, a headwind, or a tailwind that help or hurt a rider, and there's not really a way to measure what the wind speed was the entire race. So some courses like this one has quite a few open sections that can really affect the riders. We had one of the riders on our team, Anna Newkirk, get blown in the wind off of a jump out in the open and have a big crash. No fault of her own, just got caught in a gust of wind. So gotta hope that it's consistent, and today it looks like it is for everyone.
Yeah, that's when it's really at its most dangerous, isn't it? Whenever the wheels are off the ground. But we're so used to seeing in the past tracks like Fort William that have big, wide open sections high up the track. A headwind can make the difference. Even one gust of wind can slow a rider by 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds, and that can make all the difference by the bottom as well, as we see Lugar heading towards the third split.
Yeah, Xana's done a great job this year. She's made every final barring one where she had a crash. So this is her first year as a junior, and she's built through the season. She's been really consistent. She just made the switch this year to full-time BH. She'd done a split schedule with cross-country in the past.
Cross-country as well.
Really impressive, and I encourage that. I like to see the riders being well-rounded athletes and doing multiple sports, especially at a young age. They have plenty of years ahead of them to focus in and kind of dedicate to one discipline, but Xana's done a great job of doing both, and then this year making that transition to downhill. She's done really well in this Junior Women's World Cup field.
Yeah, you make a good point as well. I do feel like we've seen a lot of Lugar this year. You know, we've seen her make the finals pretty much every round, and just looking really consistent and just confident on the bike as well, really central.
Yeah, she is really smooth, really consistent, and I think that shows that she's probably got another gear there for next season when she steps up to her second-year elite. There's more in the tank that she can open up. She had a huge crash as well in practice. She missed the second session on the first day on one of the features, one of the new jump features on the track, just caught her off guard. She's a first-year junior, so as many of the riders have raced Sainte-Anne for the past 20 years, this is her first time here.
It takes a bit of learning this place, doesn't it?
Yeah, just some of the new jumps, they're so big, they're so fast. If they catch you out, it can be a big crash, but she's tough as nails. She went back up and made it happen yesterday and put the bike into the final. Yeah,
I was in the gondola yesterday with Oscar Griffiths, rider Lawrence, Alifa Osgard, and really struck me how few runs some of the world's fastest juniors were planning on doing of this place, because they said, like, even for young riders, we're so used to seeing them do multiple runs all week long that it's just too much. This place just beats you up, and that compounds over the course of the week. Let's get Lugar across the line then. That's our first proper benchmark time then of a 4:33.336.
She looked really solid out there, mistake-free. And yeah, the first time that we have through the line, we'll see how that holds up through the day.
As we head back to the top for Mary McLarnon.
Mary is a very good friend of Xana. They ride and practice together a lot. Sometimes when you train together, you can see very similar times and similar lines. So there's nothing in it, as I just mentioned. They're very similar today.
Tell you what, you're getting good at this now whenever you say stuff like that and then a split like that appears. But she's 5.5 back at the 4 split, so maybe a little bobble in there somewhere in the woods.
That 3 to 4 is the main rock garden, the big slab section, what we see here, the iconic MSA rock garden. So a lot of time to be had there. I think we'll see some gaps open up in that section of trail.
McLarnon off that final drop. Heading towards the line. Is she going to go faster than her friend Lugar? No, 4.7 back. So it started well, Nico, but faded. Is that just the length for this place?
Yeah, it could be. I think maybe some of that endurance that Xana had paid off on this long track.
Bella Birchall up next for New Zealand.
What a consistent season Bella has had. She was a second-year junior, one of the veterans of the category. Most of her competitors were coming in as first-year juniors, and she used that experience to her advantage and was really consistent through the whole year.
Look at Liddell, the first proper look at this section. This is the famous rock section. Bella Birchall, off the bike. Huge crash.
Man, she got lucky to not fall down that slab. It's about a 2-story drop once you go another bike length further.
Where does it go wrong here, Nico?
All these slabs have sharp edges on them. So as you see, she just got her front tire on the wrong side of that edge, and it slid. They have grip when you hit them square on, but when you get off balance and get your tire on the wrong side of an edge, it can go wrong quickly.
Next up, Matilda Melton for the USA, riding for Commensal by Schwalbe Lesor. And interesting, you saw Birchall's helmet there, that magnetic peak doing its job. That's something that a lot of the brands are moving to now, because otherwise the peak is the thing that can cause the head to whip backwards, did its job and left the track quite early doors.
Matilda's had a really good season this year. She's sitting 3rd in the overall right now and coming into a field where we expected a lot of the other girls that are on big factory teams, first-year juniors, to put up a fight. Matilda's done an amazing result this season.
Matilda Melton goes fastest then, 19.2 seconds faster than Xana Lugar. Into the hot seat for Melton.
So that's a huge margin. That's right where she needs to be to compete with the next 6 girls to drop.
Next up, though, Rosa Marie Jensen. The first time since round 1 in Bielsko-Biała that Specialized Gravity have had all their riders through to the finals, and this is a young woman that they rate really highly.
She had an injury just after round 1 that kept her out for a few races, and it's so tough to come back mid-season. She was, expected to do big things this year. She did it the first round. She was right where she belonged, and then to get that pace back mid-season is a real challenge.
She's faster here as well. Jensen 1.5 seconds up on that time of Birchall. Rosa Zerl up next, going for a title. Rosa Jensen may have something to say about the race win today, looking super aggressive through the rocks, Nico.
Yeah, she looks strong. She's using the bike to really work those edges and absorb the sharp impacts and get the bike driving forward on the downsides.
Yeah, we always say, don't we, year after year, that Liddell section is almost like a jet ski on top of the waves. You need to keep the bike moving on top of those rocks, and once you drop that speed a bit and get down into them, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, if you mistime it and get off rhythm, it's really hard to pick it back up.
Jensen going well towards the bottom of the course here, and this is where time can start moving away from you now. She's 2.1 seconds faster, though. She's fine timing amongst the rocks.
So still a tight race. I mean, with a rider like Tilly, who went just before her earlier in the field than she normally would, we're seeing some really good times come down earlier in this junior women's field.
Yeah, times tumbling already here in Mont-Sainte-Anne. Hear the crowd already getting behind these young riders. Rosa Marie Jensen crosses the line and goes fastest by 2.284 seconds. Superb run from her. Next up, though, Rosa Zerl. And this one has title implications. She needs a top 8 this week to take the UCI World Cup overall title. If Alifa Osgaard from the USA
She's been so
wins.
Consistent all year. It was almost a surprise to see her back in 5th last week, but it just speaks to the level of the junior women's field this year, where there's so many riders that are right in the mix.
Zero needs a top 8 today. It's 3.4 seconds faster at the 3rd split.
She's putting herself in exactly the position she needs to secure that overall.
Zero into the rocks. This could be all important for this year's UCI World Cup overall title. The Austrian keeping that big cube bike moving forward.
Look at how fast she's going. I mean, normally we say she's so smooth it's hard to tell, but the way she attacked that rock garden, you could see the pace on her.
Yeah, she's quite a tall rider as well. Uses her limbs really, really well. You can see her keeping that bike moving in amongst the rocks. Let's see what she makes of the second half of it.
Smoothly jumps into this section and then goes for a right line there. There's an option for a step down. We might see some of the elite women jump, but she does a really smooth way getting around and getting a good drive out of that woods.
Apparently her younger brother, one of the world's best free skiers, 4.5 seconds faster at the 4th split for Rosa Zerl, who may well be riding herself towards the overall title here. This section, Nico's so cruel because it just gets flatter and flatter towards the bottom, doesn't it?
It does, and I mean, the whole track is flatter than most, so if you make one mistake, it's hard to bring that back.
Rosa Zerl goes fastest in Mont-Sainte-Anne by 5.051 seconds. Is that going to be good enough to win her the title today? It will be by my maths. Only 3 remain at the top. Zerl.
What a season for her.
Is going to leave 2025 with a UCI World Cup overall title to her name. Is she going to get a win this afternoon?
I mean, it came into the season with a big question mark. There was 6 girls that could have won this title, and she cemented her place at the top and was consistent every weekend.
It's such an interesting class of racing. There's Matt Simmons as well, someone you raced against for years.
Yeah, great job on track. He's got a good eye for lines. He was really good at that in his career, and now he's sharing that experience with the riders on his team.
But it's such an interesting category, this elite women's crop, because they're all so young still. They'll all be racing each other for another several years yet before they hit the elites. Next up, Lena Frenner, a race winner earlier in the season. Frenner for Norco, the Canadian brand, on track now.
Yeah, another one of those first-year junior women that we expected big things from. She got that win early on, and she was right there all season, just high level of competition here.
Frenner with the GOAT, Greg Menard, in her corner. So she's in amongst it here. 0.6 slower than Zerl so far.
She really trusts the bike. You can see her on track. She really pushes into the ground and is aggressive with her style. You can see it right here in this section, and that's really impressive for junior women. Sometimes they're a little bit softer with how they ride the bike and smoother, but here Lena is just really pushing the limits.
I think that's changing, isn't it? You look at how Frenner rides.
Style off the jump, man.
How Frenner rides and how Jensen rides. That sort of really aggressive style is looking like it's growing in junior women's now.
I think they all push each other. It's amazing you see a lot of these girls riding together. Sometimes in the junior practice there'll be a train of 5 or 6 of them together, which is pretty cool. They have enough time in their career to battle each other, but now they're just enjoying riding and upping the level of their category.
She's 1.8 seconds back though, so she has lost time there, but she does have the crucial Lidal section, which she's about to enter now in order to make up some time.
1.8 can come or go really quickly in this section. It's the most technical section on the track. It's a really chunky rock garden. From this angle, it doesn't look quite as bad. When you look down on it, all of these sharp rocks are pointed at the rider.
Oh, Frenner rolling the dice through there, but it worked nicely for her to my eyes. Looks really, really fast through here. Nico smokes the rock on the land of that drop.
You have to be strong to take an impact like that. That didn't seem to phase her one bit.
Oh, she's keeping going. Frenner fancies a good go at that lead of Rosa Zerl. It was 1.8 before she entered the rock section. What's it going to be in her exit?
It looked like the bike took it well, too. I wondered if it maybe hit the drivetrain, but it appears to be working fine.
She's brought back 1.4 seconds, so 0.4 of a second now. Frenner right back in the race here.
That's possible to make up here if she hits this last section really well and gets a good drive out of this last little woods.
Now he has to switch from all-out aggression back to just Smoothness and athleticism needs to get on the pedals. Pump the bike into the ground. Couple of drops to go. Lena Frenner, is it going to be enough? Is she going to move into the hot seat? Here comes Frenner down across the line. Goes second by 0.3 of a second. Rosa Zero hangs on.
So tight, and she did make up time in the last section, just wasn't quite enough.
What a great rider to watch though, Frenner.
Yeah, an amazing run. Like through these jumps here, she just whipped the bike out. Sometimes better than the junior boys.
She's got that back wheel on a piece of string.
Watch her hit that rock right there. She hit it with the crank and the drive side of the bike. I'd worried maybe it was a chain guide or bent the chainring, but no issues. She's pedaled strongly to the finish line.
Yeah, that one is not going to polish out. But Frenner finishing her season really strongly.
Yeah, she can look back on that run and be proud of it.
Ellie Husselbosch for the Santa Cruz Syndicate leaves the start hop. 2 to go.
She's got one of the most aggressive styles in this category. You can see the desire she has to get a win this season. She hasn't had one yet, and it hasn't been for a lack of trying.
No, she'd love to, wouldn't she, to reward the Santa Cruz Syndicate's faith in signing her this off-season. Husselbosch.
See her going for it right out of the gate, using every inch of the track, opening up that corner.
Uses her body so well on the bike, just bends around the trees and pulls. There she is, she's faster, 1.2 seconds at the second split now for Husselbosch. This one's adding up, Nico.
Yeah, she's looking really good. Strong through this section. You can see her really working the bike. She's jumping over some of the holes and avoiding getting hung up on some of those sharper impacts.
That section just before this little gully section, so difficult because it flattens out and there's roots everywhere and you can just lose speed so easily on it.
She opts for a wide line exiting those woods, which should give her a better drive. Maybe slower right away, but carries her all the way down this motorway.
Across the big gap. Heads towards the Stevie Smith drop. You see the crowds up there already early this morning. Husselbosch. This section, fast and frenetic. What's the next split going to tell us? Half a second in the lead now ahead of Rosa Zero.
So there's not much time to play with. It's going to come down to this rock garden. We'll see what she can do through here.
Still have Alifa Osgaard, fastest qualifier from yesterday at the top. She was looking mighty on track anytime I saw her yesterday as well.
And fastest female time overall as well. So really impressive to see that being done multiple times this year in both categories.
I'm going to call it. We've seen that more this season than any other before, surely.
I think it's just the depth of the field in both categories. The juniors are all pushing each other. When you have 5 in men and women that can all win a race, there's no room to hang around. They all have to go. And
you have more juniors on the big teams now getting the full factory support and help and line spotting. And it is leveling up downhill in 2025.
It's changing quickly, and people like Eliana here are leading the charge.
Yeah, what's the next split going to tell us? Half a second, absolutely nothing at the start of Lizdal. 1.2, so she was absolutely superb through the rocks, Husselbosch.
I think that's enough margin to make it to the finish, but she's got to maximize what she can do here with Alifa still yet to come.
So Rosa Zero has locked up the UCI World Cup overall with that result, whatever happens next, but we have a race on our hands here. Is Husselbosch going to go in the lead and put herself into contention of getting her first win of 2025, crosses the line. 1.3 seconds faster than Rosa Zero.
Well, she'll be happy with that, but we've got one danger rider left to go.
Yeah, and you get the feeling that was, I don't know, the complete package from Husselbosch. We've seen, you know, some mistakes in race runs. We've seen mechanical problems for her, but that felt like her on a clean one.
It definitely looked like what we expected from her all season. It's been a long year. We're at round 10 now, but we definitely haven't seen this from her all season. It's been mistake or mechanical, and finally she's put it all together.
And just as with the elites, really, really important to head into this off-season fit and healthy and raring to go.
Yeah, they're all wanting to end on a positive note, carry some momentum into the off-season as they train for next year.
1 to go. Alifa Osgaard gets the final race run of the UCI Downhill World Cup for the junior women underway here in Mont-Sainte-Anne for the Canyon Collective.
She's got quite a different style from Ellie, who we just saw. Alifa looks more calm on the bike, kind of letting the trail come to her, whereas Ellie's pretty aggressive with it, attacking the track.
She's 400s back at the first split. She's now a tenth of a second back, but still right in contention here for Osgaard.
So it's amazing with those different styles. If they were mirrored over top of each other, you wouldn't be able to tell who was in the lead. And they're riding the track with a lot different technique.
Yeah, a couple of wins this season for Osgaard. Husselbosch are still on the hunt for her first.
Osgaard goes for an inside line right here. It's hard to tell through the trees, but that's a tighter line, covers less distance, but less drive out of the woods onto the ski trail.
Part of that Canyon Collective squad that have really started clicking in the second half of this season. Really the team to beat at the minute.
Looks like she slid a little bit in that berm after the wooden shark fin. I wonder if that'll take away a little momentum coming in here to the third split.
There's a Stevie Smith drop. Husselbosch goes inside.
Yeah, inside there, again, covers a lot less ground, but this long straightaway carries you pretty far.
She's faster by 7/10 of a second. Osgaard in the lead of this race now.
She'll be happy to be in the lead there, but it's still all to play for in this rock garden.
You can see the Fabienne Burrell tips and tricks in her riding, can't you? Any opportunity, gets down so low on the bike, gets her body out of the wind.
Yeah, something that he's learned through the career, and also when you can get out of the wind, you can use that as almost a reset, a recovery zone, take a few deep breaths, and then attack this next section where there's more time to be made than on that open ski piece.
Osgaard hit a big hole on the way in there in the Lidl. Maybe just upset her rhythm slightly, but getting going again.
She looked really smooth through the exit here, though.
Carries good speed on the way out of it.
See how she can hit this next section, a clean jump into the woods here, and is she going to go for the gap? Opts to go to the right there smoothly, gets on the pedals.
Yeah, that flight attendant suspension system that tallies through the damper set, and she's half a second.
Well,
she's lost
0.5, that's not enough. She's going to really need to go if she wants to hold on to this one.
Yeah, we know that Husselbosch is really strong down the bottom of the course. The bike doing its best to help her through the suspension settings, but now it's all over to Alifa Osgaard. Needs to get on the pedals here. Looking really, really fast down through there. It's all done bar the screen. Is Alifa Osgaard going to get another win in 2025? Crosses the line, goes fastest by 1.1 seconds, and with it, takes the win at the final round.
Well, that was a hard-earned win. She rode that near perfectly. That was an awesome run.
Alifa Osgaard for the Canyon Collective, victorious. Fabienne Burrell's down there at the bottom. Another win in 2025 for his young American rider for the Canyon Collective.
Well, it wasn't enough for the overall for Alifa this year with some mistakes at the first two rounds, but she's going to go into the offseason motivated and know she has the speed to contend for the overall next season.
There they are, the two of them, really the class of the field, Osgaard and Zero this season. Zero will take the overall title, and Nico, a fair reflection, I think, on how the year's racing has gone. Osgaard's so strong in the second half of it, getting the win today, but Zero will take the title.
Yeah, I mean, you can see in the images here how strong she is on the bike. She rode amazing. It was just those first two rounds with a bit of bad luck. I think it was an off course in Poland and then crash in Ludenviel that really put a damper on her overall contention, but she's gotten a few wins this year and she's been right there since put those behind her.
And another one heading into the off-season, fit and healthy, ready for more.
And you look at the times in this category compared to the elite, these girls are right there. So they're some of the fastest women on the track this weekend.
Amazing seeing them really, really attack Lidl as well. Well, we can head down to the overall title winner. 2025 belongs to Rosa Zierl of Cube Factory Racing. She's down there now.
Rosa Zierl, you have captured the World Cup overall title. How did you remain so consistent this season?
I don't really know. I just enjoyed riding my bike so much this season. So, yeah, and then with those wins, and then otherwise I was quite often on the podium. So, yeah, I just enjoyed riding my bike and having fun. And, yeah, it couldn't be perfect.
Yeah, world champion, World Cup overall title. What does it mean to enter the off season with these successes behind you?
It's even more a confident boost to know I'm fast, but I still have to work a lot to get even faster. But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying the first off season now, or like the first few weeks, and then we started training again. And yeah, it's just good to know how consistent I was in World Champs, that I could deliver there on that one race too. So yeah, I'm just super happy.
What do you think was the difference maker, the key to success for you this season?
It's probably just, yeah, to have fun, to have a good team around you, and that everyone helps everyone, and yeah, just enjoying the riding my bike.
Well, go enjoy that podium, and congratulations on a phenomenal season.
Thank you.
Nico, superb season, and I mean, overall title plus the UCI World Championships, about as dominant as it gets.
Yeah, and even the races she didn't win, she was right there time-wise, only a few seconds or fractions in some cases off the win. So to be right there all the time, and watching her riding, she's very mistake-free. She seems to be just consistent each weekend, nothing crazy from her, and often the speed is higher than it looks.
Quite to say, I can't remember a time in 2025 I've seen her anything other than feet level, elbows up, just stays so consistently in position on the bike. And we've talked about it before, never seems to get bobbled or bucked or in a rush to correct the bike, just always just planted and solid.
I think when she can ride like that, that shows that if she needs to take it up a gear, if going into next season she's got to up the pace, she can. She didn't need to today to get the overall win, but she can next year, and I think we're going to have a good battle on our hands.
Just 35 points in it at the end of the day. Then Alifa Oscar, with that win, brought it right back to Rosa Zierl. Ellie Husselbosch in third, but we can head over to the bottom now to hear from Alifa Oscar, today's winner from the Canyon Collective.
Alifa Oscar, another weekend in North America, another win, very close racing. How did you do it?
I just literally gave it everything I had. This course is easy to make mistakes, but have a lot of time to make it up, and I just gave it everything, even if I had a little bit of a scary moment. Just kept pushing as hard as I could.
What do you think the key to success on this longest track on the circuit was?
100% pacing yourself. Like, I was telling myself over and over, don't kill yourself in the top, don't kill yourself in the top. Even Ellie is so strong in the top, she can just muscle her way through it, and it's really, really impressive. So I know I can't do that quite yet. I'm gonna try, but just being like, hey, let's really pace myself in the beginning and then just get faster and faster throughout the run.
Congratulations on another great race.
Thank you so much.
4 wins apiece in 2025 for Zierl and Osgaard.